well, right?
Yeah.
Just so many tools to get through, avoid that ram and everything else, and keep things going.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, it is going to be very interesting seeing how this goes. I believe this is my first time watching a Spac3-Star set, so I'm interested in seeing how she performs. And it's just cool seeing these two frequent, tournament goers, pop out here at Fusion. I believe DinoNuggies was driving Phantom here. So, big shout-outs. But starting off, man, we're in the PS2, the classic.
Yeah, and I will let you keep going with it for a second, because actually my monitor just cut out entirely.
Oh, goodness.
So I have no feed right now.
Listen, there will be a little bit of mystery going on, but so far is all DinoNuggies. Got a bit of a 30% combo right there, and getting a couple up airs as well. But I mean, Spac3-Star finally able to get a couple of escapes, but it's a lot of pressure being put on by DinoNuggies so far. It's currently 91% on Spac3-Star, and then DinoNuggies has only 69%. So a couple good hits coming out from Spac3-Star, but generally speaking, the momentum's been on DinoNuggies' side. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And right now, just like speaking about, the matchup. Oh, wow, there's a shield break. Wow, Ritual. Are you still able to see this? Because right now, we have got some crazy stuff going on. DinoNuggies with a huge lead right here. And, yeah, we're kind of seeing this matchup, right?
Yep, absolutely, my friend. Now getting the double up tilt, that's going to be a huge amount of damage, but opting to cut it short, try and find a read afterwards. You can get so much more guaranteed there on Min, but instead, DinoNuggies opting for the reset, finding that jab reset as well, but not too much more, having to back off and find a way back out of disadvantage to just keep those feet on the ground, get those resources back against Min.
Yeah, and now we're starting to see some of the aerial gameplay as well. We saw like the egg throw, the up B, translate into a little follow-up right there, and we're seeing again the aerial combos really come through, and Spac3-Star trying to use that downer to get out of a situation, but Yoshi just has so much leverage, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, right, Yoshi just so good at, just because of that air acceleration especially, right? Covering multiple options, that double jump armor to get out of tricky situations, plus just some of the best anti-airs in the business.
Yeah.
Casey, I really like the point you brought up, but now speaking of options, right, it's Min back in center stage, trying to find a way past this Yoshi, but the platform mix-up, right, that timing mix-up on the plat drop just doing so much for DinoNuggies.
Yeah, I feel like the execution isn't fully there for a Spac3-Star, but all credit is due to DinoNuggies, who's really using these platforms well to evade these attacks. I imagine if DinoNuggies ends up taking this game, as he has a pretty big lead here, I would imagine, I mean, the platforms are a big reason as to that potential win here in game one.
Yeah, just doing a great job playing around it, right? Forcing some of these ram angles that just take a little bit longer to complete, finding the parries on them to boot, looking for the failure. That could be it. Gonna find you once, twice. Sends you down to the depths, and that's gonna be game number one. Going in favor of DinoNuggies. Missed that spike on the first hit, but said, you know what? I like what I see. There's no way you're finding your way out of this one and locking it down here at the end.
Yeah, second time's a charm, and, sometimes you just need to do it one more time. And, I mean, we saw right there with that nasty shield break. I mean, it was this game was kind of just all DinoNuggies, you know what I mean? Just so much momentum against so many of these combos and really evading some options as well. And that forward there was nasty. Definitely a good way to kick off this tournament if you are DinoNuggies. I believe we're seeing a switch to Inkling. So that is going to be pretty interesting. How are you feeling about the Inkling swap here in the Battlefield counter pick?
I actually like this one a little bit less, actually, just because I think the way that Inkling struggling in general just to find a lot of kill confirmed outside of up air, something that has an incredibly frame tight window, and Yoshi having one of the best frame escape options from a combo frame data wise in the entire game, with that armor now racking on the damage as well, just doing such a good job of controlling space. Inkling just not able to get those feet back to the ground, and having kind of less of a coverage option.
Yeah, and as you're saying, like as you say that, like DinoNuggies literally just gets this absolutely dominant first stock, only taking 37%, and while you do see some of the damage start to pile up, you have the full sort of body of ink there. You see the platforms on the Battlefield counter pick here. I mean, this is like Yoshi's best stage, right? Like, you have the combo abilities and the ability to evade attacks using the platforms.
Yeah, I think this is a stage that really we just saw Spac3-Star go to out of comfort, right? Feeling like
Yeah.
I just want some ability to move around,
Mhm.
saying Yoshi's juggling me really well, so on the surface level, right, these platforms are going to break them up.
Yeah.
And that's true. But Yoshi is also a character with a very exploitable disadvantage, say up high, right? Once you burn that armor, there's nowhere else for you to go. And these battlefield platforms allow you to avoid that exploit almost entirely.
Yeah, and I think it's valid, right? Like, you know, you feel comfortable on a stage like Battlefield, and you might feel more comfortable with a character like Inkling. You know, maybe you believe your Inkling is as good as your Min Min, or if not better. But at the end of the day, it is a two-player game. You know what I mean? And the decisions made to counterpick the Inkling and to Battlefield kind of ends up benefiting DinoNuggies inadvertently. And right now,
I mean, it certainly can. You just have to find a way to play with the confidence,
Yeah.
right, to exploit your counter pick, and that's just really what we haven't seen Spac3-Star do so far.
Yeah.
I think more than anything, it's just been like you see, right, a lot of these pauses, just empty jump away, reset. What do you accomplish there? Not much except some extra time to think because you aren't decisive in that decision making, and that's really where DinoNuggies has found that extra mileage compared to their opponent. Right here, he is doing such a good job just playing decisively, making a choice and sticking with it for better or worse, where Spac3-Star is starting to second guess herself.
Yeah, and like I don't think it's been all bad for Spac3-Star. I feel like the neutral has been pretty decent, but I think DinoNuggies is really showing his sort of experience with all these combos he's doing, all the different options he's doing in terms of okay, that was a good little mix up right there for the mashing, but I mean, is it too little too late? We're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, right, listen, it's not over until that fat lady sings, but and until that curtain comes down, my friend, anything is very much possible.
Yeah.
But here at 110, with Inkling, especially as a fast faller and a light character, right, you're going to have to play pretty perfectly, and just missing ledge, that was almost disaster because of that late swung down air, but not going to matter just yet. I like the read, but DinoNuggies DIing out, going to have a chance, and just, right, pop him up, send him to the blast zone. What goes down must come up in Yoshi's case, folks. It's not the other way around. And DinoNuggies locking that one down with a 2-0. Casey, what a way to start the night.
Yeah, very decisive set right there in DinoNuggies' favor, really showing his confidence, you know what I mean? Something we love to see as, you know, someone who's really been out here at a lot of these tournaments. DinoNuggies is one of those competitors who's really held it down in the local scene. So it is nice to see him succeed here. It was interesting seeing Spac3-Star's neutral play out, but at the end of the day, when DinoNuggies was winning neutral consistently, that combo game was lethal. And yeah, it's looking pretty good here. And again, the Inkling switch, not sure how I feel about it, but I do respect the try. For sure.
I think it's something I like if you're trying to play more grounded, if you're trying to just like feel like you are getting out-buttoned by Yoshi, but that, again, just didn't quite feel like the issue at hand.
Yeah.
And Spac3-Star just felt like they were she was locking herself into a character she was a lot less familiar with. When the main issue wasn't anything character-related, but just she wasn't comfortable enough in her own decision-making based on the speed that we saw DinoNuggies playing.
Yeah.
And that's the difficult part about Ultimate, right? Is